Alright, hello and welcome to Dungeon Renovation Simulator again. And I know I said I wasn't going to really jump back into this until I had seen some updates due to like some various issues I found during early access, but considering considering a lot of, not really a lot, but a couple, like enough people, which in this case was like one or two, I think, they kind of mentioned that I was potentially a little bit overtly harsh on the title with the bugs and whatnot. And you know what? Honestly, they're kind of right. The game is in early access, and I should take that into consideration. But I do have like some mixed opinions when it comes to how we're supposed to create content or review a title that is in early access. Because regardless of the fact that the game may not be 100% complete, the game is at a stage where the developers have felt that it's okay to take your money. And I don't think that's something that we can just straight up ignore. I don't think people get a pass just because, just because the game isn't complete and they've told you that it's still a work in progress. At least they are being honest with you, unlike a lot of the AAA industry that will just straight up tell you that the game is done for $70 and then release a bunch of cut content later for another $30. So at least we have a degree of honesty from indie developers that makes it a bit more tolerable to experience like the bugs and whatnot. So, but anyway, moving back into some gameplay and everything, I did increase the gamma just because I felt the darkness was a little bit too rough. I still am not a fan of this, but whatever. It does what it's meant to do. I still think it could be done a bit differently. But yeah. Anyway, but at its core, I do really like this. It is a very chill experience. We get the mop, we got the bucket, nice music. It's a very chill feeling. If I was a goblin and I had to clean, dungeons that have been, there's a little bit of a massacre, possibly, or maybe just an accident that's happened. But if I was a fantasy medieval crime scene cleaner, which is essentially what you are here, I would probably also listen to some pretty chill music and just, kind of have a good time with it to try to make it not seem so bad. I mean, we got a whole bunch of random fairy blood. It's, it's cathartic. And I've seen a couple of people compare this to Viscera Detail, or Viscera Detail, I don't really know the proper way to pronounce it. And you know what? And I think it's a proper game to compare it to, because of all of the games that have come out in the last, 10 years or so. I can't remember how old Viscera Detail is, but there have been a lot of games that are like this, where you stupid stool. There's been a lot of games that kind of focus on you cleaning, and of the games that have come out, Viscera Detail is honestly one of the best ones. It had wonderful settings, locations that you went to. They did a lot to tie in various different games at times. Made a lot of just really cool instances that just kind of made everything feel like really? All I did was put it down. These things are incredibly fragile. I guess we're not going to put those up on anything. Anyway, but it did an amazing job of kind of introducing people to a rather silly idea that there would be people that would be responsible for cleaning up the aftermath of, crazy events. And I think that was awesome. And, there's been several games that have come out since then, but I don't know that anybody's really caught the same level of magic, essentially, that they did. And, it's, I think, too early to tell if we're going to experience that here. I mean, looking at the level design, I mean, this is only like the second level in the game. And it's early access, so there's going to be more to come. And I think that the level design for the game, when you just kind of look at what I've played so far, it is good. We've got a nice environment. We have a lot of things that kind of make sense. It's very good for what the setting would imply, because the setting implies that we're in this area that's fantasy based. We've got, again, these little troll dudes, or I don't know, what are they, fairies, little flying goblins? I don't know what they are, but the point is the levels fit the setting, and they do it really well. So if they can keep this up and continue to add new things, new levels, I think they're going to have like a really good game on their hands. Because again, the simple core gameplay is good. It's very solid. It's just got some bugs to currently work through. I would use the bucket and just like put a bunch of stuff in it, but I saw that the bucket doesn't really work that way. If I can make this shot. Oh. Yeah, I'm essentially a basketball player. I do hope they do something about the footprints. I think the footprints react far too easily. They're kind of annoying. Seems like occasionally, it doesn't really matter whether or not you've really walked on anything. It just kind of happens. So from what I can tell, it looks like what happened is there were frogs, and they invaded the, dang it. They invaded the, this area of our little fairy friends, and there was a battle, and I would say that I'm not really sure who won. Because I found kind of equal parts of dead fairies and a very large amount of what I assume to be frog parts. So it's kind of hard to tell like who won. I don't really have a side in the fight. Like I'm not really here to say I hope the frogs won or if the fairies won, but the least they could have done is had a little bit more, I don't know, concern for not making a terrible mess. I mean, this is crazy, like how much of a mess they made. And they were also churning butter. That's kind of weird. It's like always the weird thing when you think about, like, in a fantasy world, when they have creatures that, feels weird calling a cow a creature, but when they have animals, creatures, some kind of, stuff that we have in real life, kind of makes that fantasy world seem like it's not quite so far away from our own. And then I guess, I really, like, at this point, it's just, slowly working on the cleaning and everything. I do like that there is this kind of, I don't really want to say a puzzle, because it's not a puzzle, but we have these artifact pieces that we get to pick up. I do enjoy that. I think it's really cool to have these, I don't know, trinkets or things that we have to find and interact with to kind of open up additional locations or to solve a specific part of whatever our cleaning quest is. So I think that's really cool, and I think it'll work better when it actually works properly in the game. But as a mechanic, I really like it. I think it's something that will add some beneficial reasons to play. Come on, little dude. You probably fought well before you died. I'm surprised we don't actually have more games where you play as a very tiny, tiny creature. We have Grounded, which I don't know if that counts. You're a little kid that's tiny. So I guess technically that would work. Let's see, we have Small Lands. There's a bunch of titles, actually. I just can't remember all of them. There's been very few that I think would actually put you in the shoes of a fairy. And I'm still kind of guessing. I don't actually know that these are fairies. I would assume they are. Based on what they look like. They have wings. They're small. They consider all of this trash, which is kind of crazy to me because obviously some of this stuff doesn't seem like it should be considered trash. Trying to clean up the benches and the shelving, I don't like it. It's just really hard to do that with the mop. I think we need some kind of other device in which we can use to clean. I suppose this is like a part where I would mention like all the things that I'm actually hopeful for, because I am hopeful there's going to be some additional cleaning tools. Okay. Oh, great. Alright, I may never be able to make these stairs work in the way they're supposed to. Really sucks that now I have to remove this. Like, it wasn't supposed to, like, fall apart. I wonder where all this goes. Probably like a like a landfill or something. Alright, I threw 2 up there, but I don't actually know where the second piece ended up. I don't know. Did it end up falling back down here? Nope. Well, that doesn't bode well. Oh, there we go. How did it end up all the way over here? There's no way that is what happened. I guess it is, whatever. This place looks much nicer now that it's pretty clean. Although I do like the colors. I wish it would stay in, you know, like... We get all this rainbow style stuff. I think that looks really nice. It seems really fitting here too. I would prefer that the room stayed, you know, some degree of this kind of color. I mean, oh well. I'm not a interior decorator, interior decorator, so I really can't make any real suggestions that would make sense, I guess, on how things would look color-wise. Who would have thought frogs could be so dangerous? Not this guy. Or we can put everything in the pot and then just... move the cauldron. Can I move the cauldron? I cannot move the cauldron. My dude's not quite strong enough. What happened here? I broke this? I don't think I broke it, but apparently I did. I imagine I'm gonna have to kind of go back through and take a lot of this stuff out. I think the game pretty much considers almost everything trash. It's really hard to tell. Because, like, the bottles show up, but I don't think they're supposed to be considered trash, but they could be junk and trash. Yeah, increasing the gamma definitely fixed some of my, like, major complaints that I had with how it looked. Like, again, like, I'm still not super thrilled with, you know, the way that we get to see the dirt versus our regular view, but yeah, the gamma definitely has fixed it to an extent. A little easier to see, and you know, that's an important fix, I think. So if anybody plays it and they run into the same situation I was in, where they're just like, this doesn't look good, change the gamma, makes a world of difference. I feel like I might as well just... Yep, these boxes are not garbage. I guess I'll leave them here. I mean, they might actually... Yeah, they're gonna be in the way. When they're boxes, I'm sure there's no, you know, small amount of wood in this world. They can just go and chop down a couple of trees, grow some more, build more boxes to do stuff with, and problem solved. Oh, these like berries? Either berries or these berries have like 4 nuts. I'm not really sure. I'm not judging, I'm just not sure what the answer is. I hate how hard it is to clean some of these corners, and that is definitely something that kind of highlights the problem with our current cleaning set. I don't know where this other piece would go. It seems like it's supposed to go somewhere, but I'm not sure where it would fit. Now, I know the bucket plan doesn't work super well, or super good, but it beats making a whole bunch of trips, kind of back and forth. Apparently I made the bucket too heavy, and I made more work for myself. What a disappointment. Yeah, that's gonna go on my list of things I hope for, is something that allows us to carry more of the junk all at once. I don't feel like that's a thing that I've seen too much of in games like this. It could be, but I don't really recall anything that would stand out to me. Maybe we'll get lucky and there's a portal in here? No, but this room is, like, perfectly clean. Hello, Mr. Dragon thing? I don't know what it is. Yeah, this room obviously didn't have a problem. I think it's good enough. I don't feel like that's trash. Those bottles should not be trash. This, I guess, would be trash. Alright, looks good. I mean, I personally feel this is pretty close to being as good as it needs to be. We'll go back to it to see if we actually did it just for fun. Yeah, under 24 and under 22%. I don't like that I have to go back to the game to realize I've done it, but whatever, I'm not gonna get into it. Like an extra back and forth step that doesn't need to be there. Anyway, I said I wasn't gonna get into it, so I'm not gonna get into it. So anyway, there you go. That's the Alchemy Room. You know what? Honestly, you know, it's I had a good time. It's the caves. All right, and then we just have to access the Armory Caves. It'll keep the dirt, same kind of stuff. And then it's the Castle Hall, and then that would be the end of it. But anyway, it was good times. I think that, yeah, I don't know. I mean, there we go. That's the end of the video. If you like the game, I definitely encourage you to give it a try. Remember, it is an early access, so you're going to run into bugs. Some of them more irritating than others, but overall, like, it's relatively solid. You can play through everything without too much trouble. Just some kind of needless back and forth stuff. Anyway, that's the continuing adventures of I guess a little I don't know, goblin cleaner, I suppose.